So today we shall study this IMF means International Monetary Fund. International Monetary Fund uh, was established in 1946 on the basis of Bretton Woods Agreement. It became operational from 1st March 1947. So in world economy, after Second World War, major changes major changes happened. Among them, two big and crucial financial institutions came into force for development of the war depicted world and to promote international trade. So at first, world bodies gathered at Bretton Woods and they framed an agreement of world development. So, on this basis, the World Bank came into existence, and later on, International Monetary Fund came into operation to with an objective to improve international trade and to reconstruct the world war affected world economy. So, IMF particularly came after this Bretton Woods Agreement. It was established in 1946 and came into operation from 1st March 1947. The objectives of the IMF we shall study here. What are the main objectives? There are 6 in number. The objectives of the IMF had been laid down in Article 1 of the original article of agreement and amendments made in 1969, 78 to its basic character. So let us see the main objectives. I have enlisted those here. First, to promote international monetary cooperation. Second, to facilitate balanced growth of international trade. Third, to promote exchange stability. Fourth, to facilitate multilateral payment system. Fifth, to make funds resources available to members. Sixth, to lessen the length and degree of disequilibrium in the payment, BOP. Okay, so let us discuss one by one those things. First one is to promote international monetary cooperation. As I told you earlier, after Second World War, in world economy was like destruction. So the world bodies thought of development of the world economy on the basis of cooperation with the economies. Different countries अगर कोऑपरेट करेंगे तो इसमें से उनका प्रमोशन हो सकता है. So to promote this monetary cooperation, IMF worked. IMF promotes international monetary cooperation through a permanent institution. It provides the machinery for consultation and collaboration in the international monetary problems. Actually, international monetary problems arise in balance of payment and rate of exchange. So, the main objective of IMF is to facilitate and solve those monetary problems. Okay, so solving these problems and cooperating with world economies, it can improve the international trade and development. Next objective is to facilitate balanced growth of international trade. As I told you earlier, IMF is mainly concerned with the international trade and its growth and facilitation. So facilitate balanced growth of international trade. What is this? It looks for expansion of balanced growth of international trade, promotion and maintenance of high level of employment and real income, development of productive resource of all member countries. So IMF is actually not involved with employment generation, development of productive resource, but the international trade should be balanced among other countries so that the employment, development of productive resource, etc., happens inside the country, member countries, those who participate in international trade. Third, objective to promote exchange stability. Um, I'm giving a brief introduction to exchange stability. Here, you know, exchange rate means the a rate of exchange at which one currency is exchanged for another foreign currency. Suppose Indian rupee and US dollar. There is exchange rate. So, near about $1 is equal to 80 rupees. Say $1 is equal to 80 rupees. So, this is the exchange rate. But you find this rate is not stable. It increases, yeah, goes down continuously due to certain factors like export import factors, international trade, involvement of the other economies. So it is necessary to maintain a stable exchange rate, or else it will affect badly to the both the countries, USA as well as India. That is why it can be done through IMF's tools and techniques. ज़्यादातर ये IMF देखता है कि सारे जो करेंसी का एक्सचेंज रेट स्टेबल रहे. A very important objective of IMF is to maintain exchange stability, to maintain orderly exchange arrangements, foreign currency among member countries, and to avoid competitive exchange depreciation. You just see, if there is no control of the countries, then each country will try to improve its value. Suppose USA always like to increase its price against other currencies. If it is out of the control, but there is a peak or apex body IMF that controls exchange rate, and USA cannot do anything it likes. Okay, so it is very essential institution for exchange stability. Then fourth objective, to facilitate multilateral payment system. Multilateral payment system means, see, India has trade relation between different countries. Suppose USA, UK, Japan, and Saudi Arabian countries. So India has to pay different currencies for imports from different countries. तो नॉट ए यूनिफॉर्म करेंसी, कोई एक करेंसी नहीं है कि सभी को हम दे सकते हैं. लेकिन अगर यूएस से लाना है तो डॉलर पे करना है, यूके से लाना है तो पाउंड पे करना है, और अरबियन कंट्री से लाना है तो दिनार पे करना है. सो मल्टीलेटरल पेमेंट से सिमिलरली इंडिया गेट्स डिफरेंट करेंसीज from different countries for its exports. In this connection, payment system is facilitated by IMF. Suppose India needs more dollar, it can pay pounds to IMF and get dollar for its payment. ये लेना देना नहीं है, यहाँ accounts transfer होता है. Okay, so it is an apex body that holds different currencies, almost all type of currencies of the member countries, and among them it distributes this currency to the needy country. Okay, so easily trade transaction is facilitated. IMF facilitate multilateral payment in current transactions between members. Non-member country के लिए ये नहीं. It eliminates foreign restrictions which hamper the growth in the world trade. नेक्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव है फिफ्थ वन, टू मेक फंड्स रिसोर्स अवेलेबल टू मेंबर्स. एज आई टोल्ड यू, इट इज बेसिकली functions for the development of world economy as far as foreign trade is concerned, either to facilitate, to remove the balance of payment disequilibrium, or promote international trade, export promotion, import promotion, etc. So for this fund IMF creates a fund, and it can pay loan to the different countries for such purposes. So fund is created and made available to the other member countries. This is one of the financing objectives of the IMF. IMF helps member countries to correct maladjustments in their BOP without resorting to the adverse measures. It improves required resource to member countries under adequate safeguard. Okay, it provides fund for settlement of balance of payment difficulties of the member countries. Now, sixth one जो objective है to lessen the length and degree of disequilibrium in balance of payment. Balance of payment है, let me first read it. IMF helps member countries to shorten the duration and lessen the degree of disequilibrium in international balance of payments. It is done through provision of required foreign currency and negotiations. You just see, balance of payment disequilibrium has length and space जो कहते हैं, टाइम और इसका सीवियरिटी. कभी कभी बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट ऑफ ए कंट्री बिकम्स कंटिन्यूसली डेफिसिट 5 years 6 years continuous. This is known as fundamental disequilibrium. Fundamental disequilibrium that can be solved by taking loans from the IMF. Okay, so here it has been done, disequilibrium, international balance of payment. It is done through provision of required foreign currency and negotiations. Okay, अगर एक कंट्री का बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट कंटिन्यूसली डेफिसिट है तो इसको करेक्ट करने के लिए लोन IMF प्रोवाइड करता है. कभी कभी बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट लिटिल डेफिसिट रहता है लेकिन कंटिन्यूस रहता है, कभी कभी सीवियर डेफिसिट हो जाता है. सो ये दोनों के लिए IMF लोन प्रोवाइड करता है. आर यू गेटिंग? सो सिक्स्थ वन, लेट मी allow some student here. ओके, नाउ सी सिक्स्थ ऑब्जेक्टिव जो है दिस इज लेसन द लेंथ एंड डिग्री ऑफ डिसइक्विलिब्रियम. तो इफ समटाइम्स IMF इज नॉट एबल टू टोटली सॉल्व द डिसइक्विलिब्रियम प्रॉब्लम ऑफ ए कंट्री, इट प्रोवाइड्स फंड सो दैट इट्स सीवियरिटी ऑफ बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट डिसइक्विलिब्रियम एंड पीरियड कैन बी लेसन, कम कर देगा. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक जो है इसमें रिसोर्स ऑफ IMF. एज यू हैव स्टडीड हियर, IMF मेक्स ए फंड. रिसोर्स, व्हाट आर द रिसोर्स ऑफ दिस IMF? कहाँ से ये फंड कलेक्शन करता है? फर्स्ट वन, मेकिंग रिसोर्स ऑफ द फंड. ये है डिफरेंट सोर्सेस ऑफ द फंड ऑफ IMF आर एज फॉलोज. ओके, ये फंड कहाँ से कलेक्शन करता है? तो फर्स्ट जो सोर्स है मेंबरशिप एंड कोटा फिक्सेशन. एक्चुअली IMF इंस्टीट्यूशन हैविंग countries as their members. If a country is getting membership, then it has to fix a quota. Suppose giving money, contribution of the money या taking loan, quota system रहता है. Okay, so the fund maintains a general account based on the quotas allocated to its members. How much fund it should be contribute and how much fund it can take as a credit at the time of need. This is on the basis of quota allocated to the member country. कोई बिग कंट्री है तो इसका कोटा ज़्यादा होता है, कोई क्या स्मॉल कंट्री होता है तो इसका कोटा छोटा होता है. ऐसे कोई भी मेंबरशिप जो करता है इसके लिए कोटा फिक्स कर देता है IMF. When a country joins the fund, the member is assigned a quota that governs the size of the subscription, its voting power and its drawing right. Three things are determined by the quota. Subscription, how much it can give, contribute to the IMF in its own currency. Second जो है voting power, at the time of voting या decision, it's a country's voting power is determined by its quota. Similarly, drawing rights, how much money it can take as a loan from IMF, that is also determined by this quota. So membership and quota fixation is one of the sources of fund of the IMF. Under the second amendment effective from April 1978, 25% of the members' quota payable in gold and substituted by SDR are usable currencies. You just see, under the second amendment effective from April 1, 1970, 20% of the members' quota payable in gold and substituted by SDR or usable currency. That means whatever contribution is to be done, it is to be given by a member country. 25% of that quota can be given in terms of golds or special drawing rights. The remaining 75% of the quota was to be given in the country's own currencies and was to be kept in its central bank. Here just see how a country provides its how a country gives its subscription, means contribution to IMF. What are total out of the total contribution? Suppose India's total contribution is 100 crores. 100 crore contribution to IMF. Out of this 100 crore, 25 crores, that means 25%, should be given in terms of gold and SDRs to the IMF. And remaining 75% India can give in terms of rupee, and that rupee will be kept in central bank RBI in IMF account. IMF account में 75 crore का जो rupees will be deposited and 25 crores worth gold and SDR will be given to the IMF. Second source of IMF fund is fund borrowing. Let me allow a student here. Okay, here just see second source of resource of IMF is fund borrowing. Besides quota, the fund borrows from government, central banks or private institutions of developing countries. As you know, commercial banks in a country needs fund to pay loans to the customer. Similarly, IMF also needs different type of currencies or fund to pay loans to different member countries. So it can get this by borrowing from the countries, government, central banks of different country, yeah, private institutions. So this is also one of the source. Second, third source, general agreement to borrow. Another source of the fund resource is general agreement to borrow. That means the fund also borrows fund from its 11 developed members under the GAB to cope up with international monetary system. So just see here GAB, a general agreement on borrowing. There are 11 countries, developed countries. They can provide fund to the IMF for increasing its capital या resource position. So these 11 countries से भी ये थोड़ा fund contribution लेता है, other than its quota. Okay. As on April 2012, there were about 188 countries which are members of the IMF. Just remember this figure. The total membership by 2012 is 188. It wants to enhance global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate. Yes, we are going to study now the functions. Earlier it was resource. Now we are going to study the functions of IMF. What functions does it perform in world economy? So as here you got the total membership is now 188, and functions of IMF related with global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and reduce poverty in member countries. So, following are the major functions of the IMF. So, though IMF deals mostly with the balance of payment activities, finance for correcting balance of payment deficiency and maintain exchange stability, its ultimate objective is to help the world economies for its internal growth, employment growth, sustainable growth and poverty alleviation through monetary cooperation and through monetary cooperation. Okay, so first function of IMF is IMF and exchange stability. ज़्यादातर ये एक्सचेंज स्टेबिलिटी के लिए काम करता है, हाउ टू मेंटेन स्टेबिलिटी, हाउ टू meet the demand for a particular currency in the international market so that its stability can be maintained. Similarly, if excess supplied any foreign international currency, its volume should be reduced so that stability can be maintained. So let us see here how it is done. The first important function of IMF is to maintain exchange stability, thereby to discourage any fluctuation in the rate of exchange. The fund ensures such stability by making necessary arrangements like enforcing declaration of the par value of currency of all members in terms of gold or US dollar, enforcing devaluation criteria up to 10% or more, forbidding members to go in for multiple exchange rates, and also to buy or sell gold at prices other than declared par values. Here just see in the function stability, how it is maintained. Actually, IMF determines a par value of different currencies with respect to gold. That means how much gold is equivalent to 1 rupee worth and how much gold is equivalent to $1 worth. In earlier times it was gold par value was decided, so that on the basis of this par value a currency can be exchanged. But after modern times different problems arise, so this par value system has been removed. Now free exchange rate is determined in the international monetary market. Here just see, suppose a country is resorting. So, if a country is resorting to devaluation to increase its export and decrease imports, in such a case, IMF have directions not to devaluate more than 10% of the currency value. So these are the things by which IMF controls the exchange in the exchange rate stability. When there is a fundamental disequilibrium in BOP of a member country, the concept of exchange stability comes into play. IMF rules provide that after consulting with the fund, a member country can change the par value of the currency. Here just see, fundamental disequilibrium means continuous disequilibrium actually deteriorates the currency value of a particular country. So in such a case, IMF comes forward to help the country and maintain its stability. Okay. So fundamental disequilibrium केस में स्टेबिलिटी रखने के लिए IMF का योगदान रहता है. Different rules are there. Okay. And thus the fund seeks to promote exchange stability without exchanging rigidity as well as exchange anarchy. The system of managed flexibility comes the feature of both gold standard and the paper standard. It ensures exchange stability to maintain orderly exchange arrangements amongst members and to avoid competitive depreciation of currency. Here they see, we shall later on study those at the time when we shall study balance of payment, then we shall study different स्टैंडर्ड्स पार वैल्यू कैसे डिटरमाइन किया जाता है. पहले गोल्ड पार वैल्यू था, इसके बाद रिजिडी एज वेल एज एक्सचेंज एनार्की को एक्सचेंज स्टेबिलिटी कैसे करता है कि कंट्रीज कैन नॉट डिटरमाइन देयर ओन एक्सचेंज रेट, ये एनार्की कहलाता है, कोई कंट्रोलर नहीं है. सो IMF टेक्स केयर कि कोई कंट्री अपने हिसाब से एक्सचेंज रेट डिटरमाइन ना करे. इसके लिए ये पहले गोल्ड सिस्टम का गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड जो और पेपर स्टैंडर्ड, पेपर करेंसी स्टैंडर्ड, गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड में पार वैल्यू डिटरमाइन किया था. लेकिन आफ्टर सम इयर्स एक्सचेंज स्टेबिलिटी मेंटेन करने के लिए जो मैनेज्ड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी का ये अडॉप्ट किया है. ओके, सो adopting one method or another, IMF controls the exchange or maintains the exchange stability in world market. Second function, eliminating BOP disequilibrium. First, exchange stability function. Second, eliminating BOP disequilibrium. Here just see, it is not looking after one country. IMF looking after the all member countries balance of payment. How to eliminate balance of payment deficit of different member countries. हमेशा सभी मेंबर कंट्री का डेफिसिट नहीं रहता है, कितने का सरप्लस रहता है, कितने का सीवियर डेफिसिट रहता है. सो इन दिस कनेक्शन IMF works to eliminate balance of payment disequilibrium, either positive or negative. The fund is helping member countries in eliminating or minimizing the short period equilibrium of BOP. It is done by selling or by lending foreign currencies to the members. The fund also helps its member towards removing the long period disequilibrium in the balance of payment. In case of fundamental changes in the economy or its members, the fund can advise its member to change the par value of its currencies. You just see, if a country faces short period disequilibrium, then IMF provides certain fund to the needy country to correct its balance of payment. Suppose कुछ थोड़ा सा डेफिसिट रह रहा है और फॉर 5 मंथ, 6 मंथ, 2 मंथ के लिए है, तो IMF से लोन लेके ये डिसइक्विलिब्रियम को फिलअप कर देता है. लेकिन कोई कंट्री का अगर कंटिन्यूसली 2 ईयर, 3 ईयर, 4 ईयर, 5 ईयर ऐसे होता है, तो IMF इसको सजेस्ट करता है कि तुम्हारा जो पार वैल्यू है, मीन्स मनी वैल्यू को थोड़ा डिक्रीज कर दो. सपोज UK is facing continuous disequilibrium in balance of payment. IMF will tell to reduce the value of its pound vis-a-vis other currencies, so that imports will be restricted and exports will be promoted in the country. जब करेंसी का वैल्यू कम हो जाता है इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में, एक कंट्री का जो प्रोडक्ट इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में चीप हो जाता है और इसका डिमांड बढ़ता है. सो एक्सपोर्ट विल बी मोर एंड इम्पोर्ट विल बी लेस, एंड आफ्टर सम टाइम, आफ्टर सम मंथ्स, द कंट्री विल इम्प्रूव इट्स पेबल्स, इट्स रिसीवेबल्स देन पेबल्स, और इसका बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट डिसइक्विलिब्रियम करेक्शन होगा. सो सेकेंड फंक्शन है एलिमिनेटिंग बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट डिसइक्विलिब्रियम ऑफ ए कंट्री. थर्ड है फंक्शन डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ पार वैल्यूज. यहाँ देखिए पार वैल्यू कैसे निकालना है. इसका मतलब है जो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में डिफरेंट करेंसी है, डॉलर है, पाउंड है, येन है, दिनार है, रुपी है, ये सब के पार वैल्यू, एक्सचेंज वैल्यू कैसे डिटरमाइन करना है. देखिए $1 कितना रुपीस होगा, $1 कितने पाउंड होगा, ये सब जो रेट कौन डिटरमाइन करता है? IMF। एज पर द ओरिजिनल आर्टिकल 4 ऑफ एग्रीमेंट ऑफ द IMF, every member country must declare the par value of its currency in terms of gold or silver, uh, gold or US dollars. This idea was to be create a system of stable exchange rates with ordinary cross rates. Yes, so uh, it is, if it is important currency डॉलर और गोल्ड बराबर का था पहले, तो इन स्टोर में डिफरेंट करेंसी का वैल्यू निकाला गया था और एक दूसरे को अगर एक्सचेंज करना है तो सिर्फ मैथमेटिकल अर्थमेटिक कैलकुलेशन करना है और इसका सेटल हो जाता था और कोई टेक्निकल इशू इधर क्रिएट नहीं होता है। ओके, क्योंकि जो मेंबर कंट्रीज है दे हैव टू फॉलो दिस। सपोज अभी 1 पाउंड इज इक्वल टू $5 और $1 इज इक्वल टू 80 रुपीज़। सो एक पाउंड कितने रुपये का होगा यहाँ से ही कैलकुलेशन करना है। फाइव जो डॉलर है 1 पाउंड है और $1 80 रुपीज़ है। सो 5 को 80 $400 हो जाएगा, 400 रुपीज़ हो जाएगा $1। $1 इज इक्वल टू 80 रुपीज़, 1 पाउंड इज इक्वल टू 400 रुपीज़, ऐसे कैलकुलेशन किया जाएगा। सो अंडर द रिवाइज्ड आर्टिकल द मेंबर्स आर गिवन ऑटोनॉमी टू फ्लोट और चेंज एक्सचेंज रेट्स एज पर डिमांड एंड सप्लाई कंडीशंस इन द एक्सचेंज मार्केट एंड ऑल्सो एट पार विथ इंटरनेशनल प्राइस लेवल। यहाँ देखिए कुछ दिन के बाद ये चेंज हो गया। जैसे कि पार वैल्यू अगर डिटरमाइन करते हैं तो इसमें एक मैकेनिकल कैलकुलेशन हो जाता है। ये करेंसी का इम्पोर्टेंस के ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं करता है। कभी कभी कोई कंट्री का इम्पोर्टेंस बढ़ता है तो इस वैल्यू बढ़ना चाहिए। और ये कैसे किया गया है? तो एक्सचेंज रेट्स एज पर डिमांड एंड सप्लाई पार करेंसी, पार वैल्यू से लेके अभी दूसरा है डिमांड एंड सप्लाई थ्योरी को अप्लाई करके IMF डिटरमाइन करता है एक्सचेंज रेट। आगे, एज पर दिस आर्टिकल IMF इज एक्सरसाइजिंग सर्विलेंस टू एंश्योर प्रॉपर वर्किंग एंड बैलेंस इन द इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी सिस्टम, that is by avoiding manipulation in exchange rates and by adopting intervention policy to counter short term movements in the exchange value of the currency। यहाँ देखिए, whenever there is application of demand and supply, so a party cannot manipulate, cannot hold, okay, so these are the techniques through which IMF helps the different countries to determine the par value of their currencies. Now, fourth, stabilize economies also works for stabilizing economics. The IMF has an important function to advise the member countries on various economic and monetary matters and thereby to help stabilizing their economy. Students, you should know that balance of payment or foreign international trade is very much affected by internal economic issues like inflation, depression, unemployment. All those things have some effect on the level of our balance of payment. So, to have a smooth and balanced balance of payment, a favorable balance of payment, economic problems should be fast solved. In this case, if a country is facing any economic problem like continuous depression, continuous inflation or unemployment, then IMF will give advice to that countries to fast solve those problems. Okay, so this is expertise. Fifth function है credit facility. How we are going to now study to solve balance of payment या maintain exchange rate we have to improve our economic issues, how IMF provides credit to the member countries and how a member country avails loan from the IMF. Fifth function, the IMF is providing various borrowing and credit facilities so as to help member countries in correcting disequilibrium in their BOP. These credit facilities include basic credit facility, extended fund facility for a period of 3 years, compensatory financing facility, Lucifer stock facility for helping the primary producing countries, supplementary financing facility, special oil facility, trust fund, structural adjustment facility, etc. The fund also changes interest from borrowing countries on the credit. Now just see different types of credit, different credit for different purposes, as well as on the basis of different schemes, IMF provide loan to the a member country. That means to solve a particular problem, it has specific provision, और इसके लिए on the basis of that provision the country gets its credit. यहाँ देखिए फंड फैसिलिटी फॉर ए पीरियड ऑफ 3 years, ये कौन सा है? क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी, एक्सटेंडेड फंड फैसिलिटी. पहले क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी में एक्सटेंडेड फंड फैसिलिटी दिया जाता है 3 साल के लिए. इसके बाद अगर रिपे नहीं हुआ, कंपनसेटरी फाइनेंसिंग फैसिलिटी, और इसके बाद में और एक स्टेज में दिया जाता है लुसिफर स्टॉक फैसिलिटी. ऐसे बहुत सारे स्कीम्स है, वी शैल स्टडी लेटर ऑन. So on the basis of those schemes or those provisions, IMF provides credit to member countries. So now let us stop here. Next time we shall study IMF and lending operations, क्योंकि थोड़ा complex है. We shall study those things later on. So now students, let us formally conclude this lecture. If you are having any problem, then you may